Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
Good afternoon. Welcome to BCIT's The Crow. I'm Selena Teixeira, and here's your latest sports news. SFU Red Leaves went up against the Northwest Nazarene over the weekend, winning in a 3-1 lead. The team is expected to play this weekend against Seattle Pacific, with outside hitter Jaden Armstrong getting 17 kills, bringing SFU now 7-1 in the season so far. Women's field hockey had an unfortunate loss against the UFV Vikes University team yesterday. They were unable to break through after carrying much of the game. They'll be back in action in 2 weeks at home against Calgary's team. Now more on significant changes that are coming to the CFL.
The league has unveiled a two-part plan, phased over 2 years, that will alter how the game looks and plays. Among the changes, starting next season, no points will be awarded for errant field goals, punts, or kickoffs that go through the end zone. By 2027, CFL fields will be reduced from 110 yards to 100 yards, and end zones will be reconfigured, making it look similar to those in the NFL. But Canadian playing surfaces will remain 65 yards wide, as opposed to 53 yards for those south of the border. Other changes include a 35-second automatic reset on the play clock. Naira Ahmed, The Canadian Press.
Moving on to international news, the football event Ballon d'Or is taking place in Paris, awarding the best football players in the world. The event is currently ongoing, awarding the best men's and women's players in the world. Luis Enrique wins the Johan Cruyff Award. Baseball's final week should be even wilder than expected. You can thank the state of Ohio for that. Baseball's regular season is set for a dramatic final week in the state of Ohio. The Cleveland Guardians have a chance to compete in the biggest comeback in the history of divisional play. Now they trailed Detroit by 1 game in the AL Central after being back 15.5. At the southern end of the state, Cincinnati pulled into a tie on Sunday for the final wild card in the National League with the New York Mets, and the Reds have a head-to-head tiebreaker between the two. Coach Brian Daboll is not committing to who will start at the quarterback for the New York Giants in their next game against the Los Angeles Chargers. Daboll was asked repeatedly Monday about starter Russell Wilson, rookie Jackson Dart, and journeyman backup Jameis Winston, and said he and his staff were evaluating everything. The Giants are 0-3 with Wilson attempting every pass so far this season, and Dart getting a handful of snaps as a change of pace. Auburn basketball coach Bruce Pearl has announced his retirement after months of taking the Tigers to another NCAA Final Four. Pearl's 38-year-old son, Stephen Pearl, is taking over as head coach of the Tigers. In a 14-minute video posted on social media Monday, the 65-year-old Pearl says he feels it is time to pass the torch. Pearl is leaving Auburn as the school's winningest coach after taking the Tigers to their only 2 Final Fours. Texas Tech coach Joey McGuire says he and his players have been derailed, presumably for trying to buy a championship by lavishing nil riches among one of the nation's highest-paid transfer classes. ON3 reported the sum to be $28 million. That's the second in spending only to Texas and doesn't include revenue-sharing distributions. Maybe McGuire's players aren't mercenaries, but it doesn't hurt to have what McGuire called the best boosters in the country footing the nil bill. McGuire says the team chemistry rather than money is the reason that his 4-0 team has been off to its best start since 2013. Today's forecast is bright and warm, mainly sunny for the rest of the day. With a high of 20 degrees. This was your latest sports news for the afternoon. I'm Selena Teixeira, and you're listening to BCIT's The Crow. Sucks.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.